Hello everybody, welcome to the Daily Brick. My name is Nick, and today we are looking at set number 75293, the Resistance I-TS Transport Shuttle. This set is going to be the only set based off of Galaxy's Edge in both Disneyland and Hollywood Studios at Disney World. This is actually really cool to see a set based on something that is strictly in the parks, something that is not going to be any sort of canon to the films or shows. This is strictly based on the ride at both Disneyland, like I said, in Galaxy's Edge, and at Hollywood Studios. When creating the shaping for this ship, they did a really good job. It is almost a one-to-one, especially on the exterior, as to how it looks in real life. I'll put up a picture of the real I-TS Transport on screen so you can see. There are a couple sticker details on the side that give it some more life. It has 28 on the side. Not sure what that is for. I'm surprised it's not in Arabesh. There are Arabesh letters underneath, so I'm not entirely sure what it says on the side. There's another sticker on the side where you see a logo that is not the Resistance, so I'm not entirely sure where those come from. And you also have two stickers up front near the cockpit that say ZZ. It looks like the ship is asleep. There are a bunch of thrusters on this thing on the back. They are all mainly Technic built using those turbine pieces, and there are some 4x4 cylindrical bricks back there. So you do have a bunch of different ways that you do build the engines on the back. I think that the builds are really good. There are a ton of transparent orange discs that make up the different thrusters that look like it's taking off in the back. In the middle of the thrusters, you do have a small dome blacked out window, and that is actually supposed to be one of the domes that you can see through on the ride itself. It is a really good detail to have that in there. I just wish that that window was actually functional, just because the whole ship, when I show you the interior, does not go that far back. So as we look at the front, you do have some glass pieces to represent a window where Lieutenant Beck would be looking out of, and on the left and right of those windows you do have some more blasters that do come with studs. So you do have stud shooters up there on the front. The angles to give it that Hammerhead Corvette kind of look work really well, and I'm going to show you the cockpit because that is an area that you do not really know is there until you're building this thing. On the interior there are two Technic rods that just kind of move up, and they hinge to where it is open on the front, and you can only fit one minifig inside, that being Lieutenant Beck, the captain of the ship. And in the ride, he is the one that's trying to get you away from the First Order, so it's actually amazing that we are getting a parks-based character in Lego form. He is a really good fig. We'll go into him further. For the interior of the ship, it is way smaller than what it actually looks like in the ride. So as you open up this top panel up here, and you can open up these panels on the sides as well, they actually did a really good job replicating that, because that is how it opens in the ride itself. But if you go through that top panel, you can see there's a kind of a skinny platform where you can place not only the two droids, but you can also place V inside. There's not a ton of interior space, which is kind of disappointing. It kind of makes sense though. The amount of angles and Technic pieces that they had to use to keep this thing from falling apart kind of makes sense. It's just that it's another ship where we do not get enough inside space to actually put figs and or accessories. There is a bin in there as well that's kind of blocking the view and the space that it takes, that the droids could be taking up. And again, I just wish there was more space in there. The color scheme of the ship really reminds me of Poe Dameron's X-Wing. This is when he had the blue and gray design. I think that it's honestly a really good choice to give them these colors. I think that everybody is kind of sick of big gray blobs for ships nowadays, and giving this gray ship a blue highlight looks really good. And again, it's just based off the ride, so it does look insanely accurate. To start off with the minifigs, we do have one of four figs here. We do have the Gonk droid. This is the first and only time we've ever gotten a Gonk droid in sand green. He is very simple. His build is very reminiscent of many other Gonk droids that we have gotten in the past. This one is entirely brick built. There's nothing special molded for it, so you could, if you wanted, mass produce these with your own pieces. Yeah, this Gonk droid is going to be very simple. Let's move on to the next fig. Up next, we do have U5GG, the astromech droid that does actually pilot your ride vehicle at Walt Disney World and in Disneyland for Galaxy's Edge. This is actually a really cool representation of the droid. It's very simple. It's something that we've gotten a bunch, but the red and black color scheme to represent the First Order is really cool, something that we don't get a lot. He does have printing on the back of that little 2x2 cone-shaped piece. His eyes, they do have 3 eyes on the front, and he does have a bunch of prints on that front canister part. To get an astromech in black is usually pretty rare. We don't get a lot of those, and it's always cool to see. Up next, we do have V. Morardi, who is one of the walk-around characters that you can find walking around Galaxy's Edge, and again, both parks. This is actually really cool to see. She does have that hair print that is kind of two different colors at the same time. I believe that the hair is black as a base, and it does bleed down into that azure color, which is absolutely beautiful, and is just a really good choice. I love that paired with the orange torso with the Resistance logo on there. Very simple, but it worked really well, and as I said, you can find her in real life in Galaxy's Edge. She does have just dark brown legs with no printing, and I do believe that she does have an alternate face print where she's a little bit more frustrated than the other face print where it's just a little bit more calm. Up next, we have Lieutenant Beck. He is the main character of the story, at least one of the main characters that we do get to meet in the ride. He does pilot the I-TS Transport when you do first take off. You don't see him till the end again, but you do find him. And he's actually really cool to see represented here in minifig form. He has he has regular reddish brown legs and he has reddish brown legs with no printing and a olive green torso that does have some unique printing for him, and the Mon Cala head there printed in light gray, and the white prints on the front of his face are really good. All right, everybody, that is actually going to be all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that we do get more sets based on real-life attractions at both parks, both in California and in Florida. I think that that would be fantastic. We already do have the 2 Disney castles and a bunch of the miniature Disney dioramas, so those are always cool to get. But yeah, I hope we get more ride-based sets. Anyways, that is going to be all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.